Hello and welcome to part 2 of this introduction to yoga. Now this section is called strength and flexibility. The most common thing that people say to me and other yoga teachers is that I'm not flexible enough to do yoga. Well, don't worry, you've got more to gain, and it's not just about the flexibility, it's about the strength as well. And we're going to build that into the next 2 poses. Remember from the first video to listen to your own body and only do what you think feels right for you. So take your legs out to the side from a seated position. If it's easier, stick a cushion or even a book under your hips to just give you some elevation. And we're going to fold in your right leg, the heel in towards the hip, resting your right hand down, turning out your left hand and going for a lovely long stretch. So this is where the flexibility comes in on the left side of your body as you gently lean over. You can even look up to the sky. We're going to go in a moment to the other side with a little reminder about the breath. Try if you can not to hold your breath, as tempting as it is. Folding in your left leg now, placing your hand down, turning out the other palm, breathing and lifting and lengthening with the hips nicely grounded. Have a little look up and bend into the elbow if you wish. And all the way back down. So we're going to repeat that, but this time we're going to introduce a lift, and this is where the strength comes in. Now you don't have to do this, you can simply repeat what we've just done. So we're going to fold in our right leg again, and this time, balancing on our right hand, we're going to take the opposite hand and bring it forward and lift the hips off the ground, pressing into the opposite heel, and up and over you go, taking great care and lengthening one side, strengthening the other. And we'll go to the other side. So it's a nice expression, this, as you fold into the opposite leg. Use this hand for strength and to lift, and make it a nice swooping gesture as you lift and lengthen. Breathing as you just gently ease into this pose and bringing the arm all the way back down. Really well done. Stretching out the legs ahead of you and then folding them round, and we're going to come up and do a few standing poses. So I'd like you on your mat to take your feet quite wide. We're working on side stretches in this little video, so I'd like you to start by turning out your right foot. Imagine that you're on a beam and allow your arms to drift up to shoulder height. And then just with a little lengthening towards your right, we're going to soften into that knee ever so slightly, take the top hand to the hip and roll this shoulder back. And again, this is us working on strength on one side, flexibility on the other. You might even want to lift this top arm. This is known as Trikonasana pose. Breathing, softening the shoulders, engaging the tummy. Take a deep breath as you then bend into this forward knee, and you might need to widen your stance and keep the knee above the ankle. If the knee isn't comfortable, keep that leg straight. And this is gently dropping this right elbow down. And again, you can keep the hand here on the hip, or if you wish, allow the arm to drift up. Again, strong on one side, building flexibility on the other. Wonderful. So to come out, you start to straighten that forward leg and point the toes in front. So it's a statement of the obvious, but the yoga teacher will always get you to do both sides. So we're going to work on our left side now, turning your left foot out. And again, arms up to shoulder height, gliding a little, and then gently folding, tilting the scales. Top hand can be nicely placed on the hip. Roll that shoulder back, soften into that forward knee. So make it easy for yourself rather than difficult. Think ease rather than effort. And if you wish, you can allow the top arm to drift up. And we're going to transition into the stronger version of this side stretch with the hips sinking and this knee directly above the ankle. Drop the elbow down and again roll that shoulder nicely back. Keep the hand here if you need to, or elevate. So a nice strong centre and everything softening and lengthening from that wonderful space. Take a deep breath in and slowly come up and turn the toes towards me, and then jump the feet together. So you're working on your pelvis and your hips. You're working on your shoulders. These are massive parts of our anatomy that have got loads of muscles, and they really enjoy getting the space and freedom. Come with me as you take your feet nice and wide and turn your whole body towards your right. And this time, instead of being on a beam, you're on rail tracks. You're on little narrow gauge railway tracks. And you're going to take the arms up and then open the chest, bending at the elbows. From here, we're going to tuck the elbows in towards us. We're going to start bending into that forward leg and gently lowering down towards the ground, dropping into the back knee and lifting the arms up if it feels okay, and gently lowering back down again, tucking the back foot under, lifting the knee. Watch the lower back as you step forward, keeping those knees nice and bent, and then inhaling and stepping forward. We're going to go to the other side as you turn your left foot out and rotate the hips with you. Inhaling, nice straight legs as you exhale with the elbows. And then draw those elbows in as you bend into the forward knee and gently lower down, dropping the back knee, flipping over the foot as it were, inhaling and taking the gaze high. Folding back down, tuck the back toe under, and you can move from this position, if you wish, only if you wish, into downward dog, dropping into the knees, and if you wish, coming into kneeling. Really well done. Some of those are quite strong poses. So do go over them again just to get familiar with them. You'll have probably heard that yoga is also about the breath, and we are going to move with the breath now. Really simple stuff. Breathing in, allowing your arms to drift up, and we're going to exhale in pulses. So breathing out through the mouth, and another once at least, inhaling, breathing out in pulses, and feel free to repeat that. A nice deep breath in, exhaling. Wonderful stuff. You can come into a seated position with your legs facing forward. Tuck your knees under, bend into the knees, and just see if you can tilt yourself back ever so slightly. And maybe you can let your feet drift up. And this is us firing our belly muscles, our tummy muscles up for the next video. Palms together, hands behind the knees if you prefer. So that gives you a little taste of what we've got to come as you cross your legs, and just take a moment to quieten the mind. And whilst you're sitting here focusing on the lovely after effects of your movement, I'm going to read to you from the Bhagavad Gita, which is another early text that highlights the principles and the practices of yoga. And this little quote says, "Free your mind and heart. Abandon the noises of the world. Put aside with no regrets the likes and dislikes in life. Seek solitude. Become detached. Engage your mind in meditation. Seek solitude in meditation." Well done, and I'll see you in the next video.